Let me say a special good morning to our listeners via Classic Radio, whether you're listening 105.5 or 105.9. Good Thursday morning to you. Those of you via GBN TV, channels 7, 11, or channels 20, good morning. What about our social media audience? Those of you via our Facebook page, YouTube channels, good morning. GBN's webpage, good morning to you. Thanks for being with us this morning here on To The Point. And as usual, on Thursdays, you know, we do entertain various departments within the Royal Grenadier Police Force. And this morning, we do have the Eastern Division. And with me this morning, let me get the names in order. We have for you Detective Corporal Nancy Joseph. She with us this morning. And also we have for you Sergeant Roberts with us this morning. Good morning to both of you, and welcome to this edition of To The Point.
Good morning, and good morning to the listening audience.
Pleasant good morning. Same to pleasant good morning to the listening audience.
All right. Mm-hmm. Our topic of conversation this morning, we're talking the traffic and security arrangements. We know the semi-final round is coming up for the carnival events. Mm-hmm. And certainly there will be, of course, security and traffic arrangement that the general public will have to adhere to. Before we get into the conversation of it, any opening remarks, folks, before we get into it this morning?
Go ahead, Saj.
Okay, pleasant good morning to all. As we all know that we are well into the carnival season, to the festive season, and before really getting into the actual season itself, we have the various semi-final show, which will be held at Progress Park. So it is important that for all events, a traffic plan must be implemented and to be put in place so as to control, direct, regulate, and to ensure a free and smooth flow of traffic within the venue and the areas around the venue.
Right. Certainly so.
Anything from you in terms of opening?
Okay, well, we are certainly operating under an objective that is set by the RGPF, that is for the carnival season, and we want to sustain and enable an environment that ensures the safety and security of all patrons and spectators to the carnival events. Ensure that everything runs as smoothly as possible, that the events that are put on by the Spice Mass Corporation are a huge success, and they're incident-free in terms of violence and that insurgence of crime.
All right. So let's start it off with you, Sergeant, of course, Roberts. We're talking traffic now. I'm assuming, the various semi-final events are coming up. There will be traffic arrangements, especially Eastern Divisions. I'm assuming you have those arrangements that you could, of course, let the viewing and listening public know about.
Yes. So like I said before, these events will certainly attract large crowds, and also there'll be an increase in the number of motor vehicular traffic traversing along the roadway and the routes in and around the venue. So I just want to sensitize the motoring and the general public as to the traffic arrangements for the venue. Now, the traffic flowing along Progress Park Public Road will flow as normal. Right, so you'll have the both lanes of traffic traveling as normal from the north and to the south likewise. We have an entrance policy, meaning that motor vehicles traveling from Granitang and from the Eastern Main Road, you will enter after the Rose Garden, this famous restaurant and bar. Yes, you will enter into the venue, into the pavilion from that area. We have vehicles traveling from the northern side. Okay, so you'll make a left. Persons who are attending the show, you'll make a left on just after Paradise Bridge, that is vehicles coming from the northern corridor, and you'll enter into the pavilion from that area. So we have an exit policy now. After every show, now vehicles going to the eastern main road to Granitang, you will make a left turn out of the pavilion and proceed up to Telescope and exit. Vehicles going now towards the northern side will enter onto Progress Park Public Road, make a right turn and head towards the direction of Paradise. And I want to embark now on the parking areas. The general parking area at the venue would be at the rear of the pavilion. VIPs, dignitaries and officials will park at the front of the pavilion. There is an embankment just at the front of the pavilion that will afford the VIPs, the officials and dignitaries coming to the show to park in that area. We have a reserved parking area whereby if all parking is exhausted at the main venue itself, then you can proceed to Telescope playing field, commonly known as SAS grounds. So where there might be an overspill, that is the reserved parking space for other motorists. And then now we have the no parking areas. Okay, so no vehicles should park alongside the roadway of Progress Park. Okay, so that would be from after the tire shop, Jose's tire shop, and also to the front of the pavilion after the Rose Garden side, going towards the direction of Paradise. So there will be deemed no parking. And also the roadway coming into the venue itself, on either side there will be deemed no parking areas, because we know that this roadway is quite narrow and there'll be traffic congestions in this area, so we're trying as much as possible to avoid motorists from parking in such areas. And of course, for every venue and in every venue, we must have an emergency route. So the emergency route at Progress Park will be from the venue. In the case of an emergency, from the venue, motorists will proceed towards the direction of Canal Road, Salisbury Road, and to the hospital.
So that's basically the route that you gave for both exiting and entrance. You also gave information pertaining to parking arrangements and also non-parking arrangements. Tell me, officer, is there any of course information you would share in terms of violations? You know, there's always going to be someone who's want to violate things.
Yes.
You know, is there anything that you want to show there to the listener of viewing public this morning in terms of, hey, if you violate, this is what can happen?
Yes, well, we don't really want to be hard and fast, you know, but we just need, you know, the public cooperation. But in areas where they'll be identified as no parking, we have clamping in effect. Okay, we'll have the use of the wrecker service. So we don't really want to, you know, just you have the notion to clamp or to tow away, you know, someone's, you know, vehicle away. But, you know, we just need the cooperation, and you should not really go into this area, because once you park in this area, it will compromise the whole operation and what we call congest the whole area.
All right, great. All right, let's go over to, of course, Detective Corporal Nancy. Good morning to you once again. And You here this morning to talk about the security aspects of things. Those patrons, when they're coming to the activities, leaving their property, who may want to leave their property unattended. Give us a list of course, some bit of information, I would say, that you would like to throw to the viewing and listening public this morning when they're coming to the actual event, the do's and don'ts.
Yes.
You understand? Also, in terms of when folks are leaving their property, even though your personal property on you, in how ways of securing it and so forth. Tell us about that.
Okay. Well, basically, the information that we're disseminating this morning, it falls for the 3 semi-finals that will be held at the Progress Park venue, as well as the finals of the Calypso competition. That too would also be held at the Progress Park. So all the traffic arrangements that Sergeant Roberts just unfolded there would apply to all of the 3 events that will come up. But this from this evening actually,
Thursday, Friday, and
Sunday. Right. And of course, we've put in a lot of security measures in place too for the safety and convenience of all persons who will be coming towards the event. We've set up there will be a number of roadblocks that will be in effect on the bordering the borders of the St. Andrew area. So when you're coming from Guelph, St. George's, from the northern side, expect to meet a border patrol or a border stop where you will be checked for your driving particulars. Your vehicles would be searched, and we're looking for the regulars, the illegal firearms, the offensive weapons, and we have a zero tolerance policy as it relates to those things. Once you're caught with those things in your possession or in your vehicles when these searches are being conducted, then the law will take its course, of course, as it relates to those items, because we know that persons are traveling towards an activity and those things are not needed at that environment. On your arrival at the venue and having followed all the traffic arrangements that are in place, and you get into the entrance point, then expect to be frisked. Ladies, we'll be asking you to open your bag so we can see what you're having there. Men, you'll be searched. We'll be checking for illegal weapons, firearms, narcotics, the like. We know that there are persons outside there who are the holders of legal firearms. You have a licensed firearm in your possession. No, we're asking that you do not come to the venue with your firearm in your possession or on your person. You can secure it at home, because we know when we've done the vetting process, you would have had to show an area where you would have those things secured. So we're imploring upon you, we're appealing to you that you make use of those security arrangements that you have at home, or if you do not feel comfortable, then you can always deposit it at the nearest police station. You can drop it off, we take your credentials, we secure it for you, and at the end of the activity you can pass by and collect your firearm. There's a zero tolerance policy as it relates to drinks in bottles. You can buy your bottled drinks, you can deposit it in a plastic container, and you'll be allowed to enter the venue with it. But no bottles will be allowed, glass bottles will be allowed into the activity. The aerosol cans, where persons have the bagans and the bomb and they use it to ignite the open flame, that too is a no-no.
So that's a zero tolerance for that? And
no, it's
no one will be allowed to.
Nobody will be allowed to enter the venue with it, and we would also be screening the artist gate as well to check to see if they have it as props. You could come up with some other innovative ideas as to how you can get the lighting or the illumination to get the effect that you want for your presentation. But those things, along with the mass and tool, they will not be allowed. And if persons are seen with it in your possession while the activity is being conducted, then they would be taken from you, and you may or may not stand the possibility of being ejected from the activity in itself.
Okay.
So we do not want those things at the venue. There are a security breach in itself, and it's harmful to other persons. Think of it like if you're there, you go out to enjoy yourself, you're in the crowd, and somebody just ignites an open flame next to you and you get burned.
Yes.
Right. So we need to think about not only ourselves but other persons when we're carrying out these sort of things. We want to implore on persons as well that when they're coming to the activity, that they don't travel with all of their important documents in their bags and so forth. And we have a number of reports at the end of this activity, persons saying that they've lost their passport, they lost their bank cards, and the like. You're coming to an activity like the Soca Monarch or the Groovy finals, and we expect the crowd to be a large one because we have all the big names participating this year again. Don't come with your bank card. We don't have those devices here where you could swipe and pay for a drink at the bar.
Walk with the cash you intend to spend.
Exactly so.
Intend to spend.
Visit the ATM machine, withdraw the necessary cash that you would need, and you walk with that along with maybe your driving particulars in the event that you're driving, and you'll be stopped along the way to check for that. Don't come with that volume of documents on your person. Ensure that when you're carrying your bags, that is in a secure position. We know these days the style is that women carry the bags across their person. Ensure that that bag is to the front of you, and that you have a secure touch on it while you're moving through the club. Remember, it's a large crowd.
There will folks who will be coming out to pray on individual.
Exactly.
There
will be persons who come in there with two different mindsets. They want the opportunity to do something wrong.
So don't present the opportunity.
Exactly.
All right. All right.
So then all of that is incorporated, as the sergeant is saying, that the pickpocketers, don't put your money, don't leave your phone, don't stick your phone in your back pockets. Secure those things in a position on your body that you're always able to check to ensure that they're there. We spoke about persons with the jewelry. We can't tell you don't dress in your jewelry when you come out, but make sure that you have you check in and that you have a secure touch to it when you're moving through the crowds, because it's a large volume of persons. You may just be moving through. Somebody snatch you, you feel this rough tug at your neck when you turn, no chain, and by the time you look, you can't identify the person that would have snatched it from you.
Of course, Corporal, I would like to just pause here for a minute. We drew for a break, and when we come back, we'll continue with more information in terms of the security aspect of things. Stay with us, folks. It's to the point. We take a break. We're coming right back. Don't touch it down.
Traditional Mass, the foundation of our carnival. It's where it all started. So on Saturday, July 29th, over 10 traditional mass bands will showcase our rich and deeply diverse traditional mass. Let's go to Hero Square, Victoria in St. Mark from 3 p.m. Come see the Short Knee, Maypole, Wild Indians, Mocha Jumbies, and Vehicle as they parade the streets. Capture the experience, the color, the sights and sounds of what's truly ours. With free admission for the entire family. Log on to www.spicemasgrenada.com for everything carnival. Traditional Mass Festival, Saturday, July 29th, Hero Square, Victoria.
At the NIS, our team proudly works to support the evolving needs of Grenadians. We have made some changes to our operations and want to keep you informed. Firstly, we are happy to introduce the new unemployment benefit. This benefit will provide an insured person with 50% of his or her former income in the case of sudden unemployment. To support this benefit and other benefits we offer, it was necessary to increase the contribution rate. The contribution rate will increase gradually each year until it reaches 16% in 2031. As always, the contribution will be split between you and your employer. The pensionable age will also increase from 60 to 65 years. This increase will also be gradually reaching age 65 in 2029. Pensioners will continue to be eligible for a pension from age 60, but will receive a reduced payment. The NIS recognizes that the prices of basic customer goods are increasing globally. Therefore, we are happy to also increase the weekly minimum pension payment by 25%. Finally, we have adjusted our survivor's benefit payment to a percentage of the age pension minimum. Widows, widowers, and dependent parents will receive 100% or $58 weekly, while children will receive 50% or $29 weekly of the deceased's pension. We are here to make the transition to these new changes as clear and simple as possible. If you have any questions on how these changes impact you and your family, please contact our new informational hotline at 440-6647 or visit www.nisgrenada.org. Thank you for allowing us to be your social security provider.
Spice Mass is on, and the NLA is granting you free access. From July 15th to August 12th, every time you spend $12 in the purchase of Playway, Pick 3, Cash 4, and Lotto games, you can win free access to all Spice Mass shows, all major private shows, and Monday Night Mass packages. Look for the words Spice Mass winner on your gaming tickets, and access is granted. Guaranteed. Simply redeem your winning tickets at the NLA's office on Grenville, Grove Street, or the Coronage for free access to all the big carnival events. Over 380 free access will be granted. The more you spend $12 on the daily games and Lotto, the more chances you have at winning free access to carnival events. Must be 18 or older to participate. Terms and conditions apply. NLA, the only diamond sponsor for Spice Mass 2023.
Don't miss me, no mas. Don't miss me.
Back, listeners and viewers, it's to the point for today, Thursday, the 27th day of July. With me this morning, we have representing the Eastern Division. We have for you, of course, Sergeant Roberts, and we have Detective Corporal Nancy Joseph. Of course, Detective Corporal Nancy, if you don't mind me calling you just the first name, you were given some information pertaining to, the security, how to secure your personal possessions and so forth at events. And we have to pause for the break, and I'm sure you would like to continue, of course, giving all that information, especially for our listening and viewing public. Just continue, please.
Okay, thank you. I would like to continue and speak along the lines of the sergeant made mention of some parking arrangements that were made.
Yes.
We want to ensure that when persons park your vehicles, that you ensure that your vehicle is secured. And secured means that it's locked properly, that you do not forget your keys on the doors, that they have the locking techniques with the buttons these days.
With remote locks and
right,
so forth.
exactly. So we want to ensure that you lock your vehicles. There will be police officers posted at those parking areas that will be roving through and patrolling, ensuring that your vehicles are secured to the best of their ability at that point in time. But we want to ensure that you don't leave any of your valuables.
Take a last minute check before you.
Yes.
Last minute check.
Make sure that you're secured. Maybe if you came with a bag and the bag may not necessarily contain anything, but make sure that you secure it in an area in your vehicle that is not seen. That's somebody who is passing through and they're peeping through vehicles looking for the opportunity. We don't want to have
a bit of diverting the obstruction. Someone
exactly.
Wanting to, I see a bag. He may have something in it. So
Let them, because damage to your vehicle. They break a window. They damage your locks. These activities also incur cost upon the persons that are the victims of these things. So we want you to ensure and be your brother's keeper. If you're passing by and you notice somebody's window is down or a vehicle is not locked properly, you can draw it to the attention of the police officer who is there. And then the information can be forwarded to the necessary persons who would make an announcement and cause the persons to come to secure their vehicle. When you're leaving home, we cannot stress too much on that point, the homes, because we're plagued with the offense of housebreaking, people burglarizing your homes, stealing the items that you would have invested into making your home more comfortable for yourself. Ensure that your windows are properly secured, your doors are locked. If you have windows that are giving issues, take the opportunity and reinforce those windows and doors to ensure that you don't present the opportunity. It's only the opportunity that is, once you take away from the opportunity, then crimes cannot be committed by the perpetrators out there who have that mindset.
So true.
So ensure that your windows and doors are secured properly before leaving home. And we want to implore on the parents of younger children that if you want to attend these activities for the upcoming carnival season and for the weekend that is approaching, that you leave your children in the care of a responsible adult. And we're not talking about a sibling who is 13 and food. No. You can pay a babysitter, ask a family member, and drop them off at a reliable care center or a babysitter that offers the 24-hour service, and make sure that your kids are well taken care of in your absence from home. Too far, we've seen incidents of fires, children harming themselves by interfering with stuff that are being left up to when they're left up to their own devices. We know they explode.
Yes.
They try to they get into things that they don't intentionally want to get into. So we just want you to be mindful and have your children's best interests at heart as well. At the center, we're having a venue operating center. That's where we would have our commanders, the persons who are mainly responsible for the operations on the ground by the police officers there. And we have it in the form. We have that big white bus with the flashing blue lights. I do not have a better way to explain it so that persons are aware.
But I think the listener
Yes.
they understand where you're coming from.
It's
already.
basically
It's
our
very
comment
noticeable.
center, very much so, because the lights would be flashing throughout the event. You can report all incidents of crime
Yes.
to that area there. We have a diary, just as we do at the police stations, who take your information.
Basically like a command center.
Exactly, a command center. And you disseminate the information around the grounds so that police officers will be able to act accordingly. If at whatever point you are at the venue and that center is too far or it'd be too cumbersome to traverse to get to that area, there will be police officers walking around, in and around the facility. You can draw it to the attention of one of the officers who are posted closest to where you are, and they would ensure that you get the best response possible. They will direct you accordingly, and if assistance is needed then and there, then they will be able to provide that to you as well.
Okay. So I'm assuming stringent security will also be, of course, put out by the Royal Grenada Police Force in terms at the activity also.
Yes, we will be there in our numbers. We want to ensure that persons are secure and that the event runs through as successful as possible. Because we understand that the whole event is put on by an arm of the Spice Mass. So,
yes.
And we don't want the how should I say, the bad review. You understand that somebody come to enjoy themselves and he had this and he had that, fighting, vehicles getting broken into, those sort of things. So we're putting our best foot forward for this event to ensure that we do everything as we're supposed to, and that the event runs as smoothly as possible. Let's work on our hands on the after effect. So we do the best foot forward.
So we have that early preparation for it also. Tell me, because something you mentioned in the interim of your conversation when you spoke about the various checkpoints that you'll be having, coming into the event, where so individuals have to look out for there may be some delays.
Yes, exactly so. It mightn't be too much of a delay once the persons are cooperating with what the officers are asking. So generally they will be asking you to present your license, your insurance for your vehicle. They will check if you're traveling with other passengers. They may or may not ask you to step out of the vehicle so that they conduct searches to ensure that you're not carrying any of the prohibited items into the area where the event is being conducted. So less hassle when you cooperate. You don't come and we know some persons are antagonized, but you're a police officer, but we're just asking for your cooperation. And once you cooperate, then we'll assure you that everything would run as smoothly as possible, less delay.
All right. Would you like to throw that warning out individual who may be contemplating of walking with, weapons and so forth, that it's a no-no, that there'll be a zero tolerance for that? Maybe you could just emphasize on it some more.
To the persons who are listening.
Although you did it already, but sometimes you just need to emphasize on it.
Reiteration is always good.
Someone is always going to feel they could challenge the authorities for some way or the other.
Exactly. So we see a lot of it happening. To the persons who are coming to these activities, you're coming to the activity because it's been put on for a specific reason. We're there because persons want to enjoy themselves. The artists have put a lot of emphasis into this. They've invested a lot of their monies into this activity. Yeah. And to see the activity come to a premature conclusion because of some thinking.
Wants to fight.
Exactly.
Whatever.
I mean, that is so selfish of you. And we're putting it out there because we want to give persons the awareness that those things are not allowed. If you're found in, around, or heading towards the activity with any sort of offensive weapons, with knives, cutlasses, the illegal firearms, if you're found with the drugs in your possession, you will be arrested, you will be charged. And if you look at the time of the evening that it takes place, so that means that you will be in custody, awaiting bail the following day. And we don't want you I know you don't want to put yourself through that kind of that inconvenience. You understand? You're coming out, you leave the cutlass at home, leave the knives at home, leave the guns at home. So maybe we can go to your home and find it a little bit later on. But still, you come in, as somebody said this morning, walk with your girlfriend and leave the knives. If you're meeting your girlfriend there, then all the more better. We're just imploring that persons would use sound judgment, especially the youths. just use your sound judgment and just come to have a nice time and return home as safe as possible.
All right. Let's go back to, of course, let's go back to Sergeant Robert this morning. In terms of the traffic arrangements, I mean, there's give us some advice that you would like to throw to a listening and viewing audience for folks coming to these events. Because, you know, folks sometimes come to these events, you know, folks want to get themselves indulged in alcohol and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. What kind of advice would you like to give out to them this morning, the do's and don'ts in terms of when you come into events and want to indulge in these things, in terms of the drinking and driving and stuff like that?
Okay, right.
So we know the dangers that certainly could incur that.
Yes, so we all know that one of the contributing factors to motor vehicle accidents is the intake or the use of excessive alcohol. Mm-hmm. Okay, so, and I really want to implore on the motorists that if you need to be drinking or you're so desirous of drinking, you should at least have a designated driver. Because we know that alcohol basically it can impair one judgment. Okay, so I really want to implore on the motorists that who want to drink alcohol to get yourself a designated driver.
All right. Are we going to see the police, of course, doing these checks in terms of once one is suspected of driving under the influence? Will we do checks in terms of using the breath analyzer and all of these things? Will we see these things happening around this time? Are these events coming up? Are there any plans for that?
Yes.
I mean, sometimes by telling an individual that he can act as a deterrent of not wanting to get into it. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but at our department, right, we are equipped with our breathalyzer kit.
All right.
Right, and once it is suspected that that you're under the influence of alcohol, okay, you will be tested. Okay, and once that you found in the reading in excess of the alcohol, you will be charged. You will be, as a matter of fact, it is an arrestable offense. Right. So you will be arrested and charged for drunken driving.
What sort of advice would you like to offer to individuals, especially after the activity? There's always that issue that occurs, especially when the activity, of course, finish and so forth. Folks are leaving, especially the traffic, driving under the influence and so forth. What kind of advice would you like to give out to, especially the individuals on that level?
Okay, we know that after every event, okay, that there does be traffic congestions, okay, and we really want to, advise the motorists to, exercise a level of patience and tolerance, because everybody, the venue is small, the roadway is quite narrow, and there are times you have traffic, converging, left and right to the middle. So we really want to employ persons now to exercise that level of patience, to get out of the venue safely, because everybody just cannot move freely at the same time. So patience is a virtue after each and every event.
All right, great. We drew for another break. Let's take it. In the next segment coming up, folks, we do have some more questions we'll be asking the officers. And those of you who are listening and viewing, if you do have a question or two that you may like to ask, feel free to do so. 435-2041. We're coming right back after the break. Stay with us, folks.
Get ready to catch all the action. The CPL returns August 16th to September 24th. Be watching.
Grenada's broadcast of Republic Bank CPL 2023 is made possible by Republic Bank. We're the one for you. The National Lotteries Authority, Grand Lake, and Hard On Plus.
Whoa, whoa. Rock the box, we say, yeah. and culture living, yeah. Rock the box, we say. I'm telling you, rock the box, rock the box, rock the box, we say. I'm telling you, rock the box, rock the box, rock the box, we say. We'll be jamming here on a Thursday. I want to control your anger. There's a way to feel better. That's one thing to remember. No matter where you are, you can be a star. Stop and take a deep breath and relax yourself. Take another deep breath and relax it, and relax it. Eliminate violence.
Spice Up returns to the Esplanade Mall courtyard. Spice Up the Esplanade. Every Wednesday and Friday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Spice Up the Esplanade. Your all-in-one Spice Mass event. Get a taste of everything Carnival. From music to mass to food to fashion. All things Carnival in one place. Esplanade Mall, July 7th to August 11th. Don't you miss it.
Welcome back, listeners and viewers. Don't forget, viewers and listeners, those of you who do have a question or two you may like to ask the officers, feel free to do so within this segment. So we do have a caller already, but let's entertain the caller and then we get back into the conversation just a wee bit. Let's entertain our first caller. Caller, good morning, welcome.
Hey, a very pleasant good morning. How is everything?
Comment you want to make to the officers or the sort?
All right, Sister Nancy, how are you? Listen, Corporal Roberts, I thank you for giving the safety advice to the nations for all incoming events, beginning from right now, go right back. I like you all to guys and them to speak a little bit about those. You know those. Yes, a matter of fact, yes, some finger-licking girls just have some cell phone 3/4 out of their pocket. So advise them to be careful how they're walking with their cell phone in their back pocket. You see this kind of pretty pants they're wearing there, the jersey pants, the new style. Give them some good advice on it. And you all have a God bless day. Thank you very much.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much for your contribution. I mean, as funny as it sounds, he made some relevant points there anyway.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Yes, we also speaking as it relates to the pickpocketers, and as the gentleman who just called in stated, ladies as well as men, please be guided when you're carrying your cellular phones with you. I have seen that there are these small bags that you place around your neck and it hangs down to the front of your body. If you can get a hold of one of those, then you can secure your phone.
Could be appropriate for
carrying your phone in a large crowd like this. I think persons should have already in their mindset knowing that I wouldn't be able to carry my phone in my back pocket like that. If it sticks out and I'm passing through a crowd, then it presents the ultimate opportunity for somebody to just slip their hand and grab it away from you. As well as to the ladies too, a word of advice when you're accepting drinks from persons. If somebody has offered you a drink and the person is familiar to you but not familiar in that sense, that I want to encourage you that you accompany that person to the bar when they're buying you that drink, if you will have accepted the offer. And from then on, you can observe what is being done or how your drink is handled before it is brought to you. You don't stay in the crowd and you allow persons to ply you with drinks or just bring drinks and you just consume it. We have to look out for persons who are looking out for the opportunity to slip things into your drink that would confuse your senses, and it provides the opportunity for them to carry out of the venue
and impair your judgment in terms of
exactly. And seeing you leaving and person saying, "Oh, well, she's in my company. This is my girlfriend. She just had a little bit too much to drink, and we're going home and taking her home," and only to get a report the following day that it was nothing like that. So please be mindful. Please be careful when you're accepting drinks from persons that you're not familiar with. That as I said, accompany that person to the bar, and so you can see how that drink is being handled before it is being given to you for your consumption.
All right. I also I want to actually go back on the traffic arrangements once again. Let's talk about the folks who may be contemplating committing traffic offences during these, of course, events that are coming. What information you'd like to throw on that in the way of deterring individuals from wanting to even think about committing those traffic offences?
Okay. Now, around these activities, right, around the carnival season, some motorists or some persons, as a matter of fact, okay, they have the tendency that the laws of Grenada or the traffic laws is being suspended. Okay, so this is the time you find a cadre of unlicensed drivers on the road, persons driving without license. Then you find, a lot of uninsured motor vehicles on the road. And you find also a lot of unlicensed motor vehicles on the road, especially the scooters, the motor scooters or the motorbikes on the road. And in itself, driving without license is a no-no. How serious these particular offenses are. So I want to implant persons who have in mind to take the chances that there will be a zero tolerance in, and the consequences will be quite great.
All right.
So I'm imploring on you all that do not take the chance for persons who haven't got a driving license to come out on the road, and also the use of uninsured vehicles. Now, I want to touch on, we have around this time, we have a lot of foreigners coming into the States. And persons are desirous to drive. But there's a procedure in driving, because you cannot just drive with your foreign license like that. Okay? So you must be accompanied by a bona fide or a temporary driving license, which you obtain from the traffic department. And the procedure is very simple. Okay? Your foreign license must be valid. Okay? You come to the traffic department with your foreign license, and you make an application for a bona fide license at the cost of 60 EC.
And is issued at the same time?
Issued at the same time, and it is valid for 3 months.
Okay. All right. We do have another caller. Let's entertain the caller. I guess we lost that caller there. 435-2041, 435. Something for folks adhering to, of course, some of the conditions that are stated, and make life easy for everyone in the entire process. Let's entertain another caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome.
Hello, good morning, Judy. How are you?
Not bad. Go right ahead with your contribution, please.
Officer, I want to tell the adversary something. I want to say something that the whole nation would hear. Now there is a statement made on the radio. A statement was made on the radio about a 150 that the government took away from the seed program.
Caller, our program this morning does not entertain conversation of that nature, so I would not entertain you any further. We're not talking. We're talking traffic arrangements. What you think you'd like to put into that? That has no pertinent to the conversation this morning. I know. Let's entertain another caller. Caller, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
I do endorse that program. It's a very, very interesting program, and we need to bring back law and order in Grenada. I personally believe that the police is doing an excellent job with the hands tied. The penalty is yoke penalty, so people continue doing it. And I believe there is a lot of things that the police just have to enforce. Just get your men, get to things, and be very, very, very proactive. Make people exempt example. You can't be letting go your secret. You go into war and you tell the enemy you're coming. You tell them where you'll be deployed. There's a lot of foolishness going on as the host, the person on the program talking about the scooters, weapons, unlicensed vehicles. You just have to be drastic and just take people in and make them examples. And this thing cut the head of the snake. Stop sugarcoating things. That's why we have this thing reoccurring. When you put penalty on these people and make them examples, people will be afraid. So don't go and play your playing because it could be you, your child, my own, and other people are going to be crying. Apply the law, who vex. And that's how this country has to start to see this thing. Too much a baby thing. So don't tell them people what you're doing. Some of the things that you edifying people and make them aware, especially all these foreigners and rental and junk man and all kind of thing. You could talk about that, but other what you're going to execute, I don't want to know that. Just do what you have to do. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. I understand where the caller is coming from, but sometimes letting them know what you're going to do it works as a deterrent.
Yes,
you understand?
Certainly so.
Folks may say, don't tell them I'm going to. I wouldn't tell someone I'm coming if I know I want to catch them in the act. But sometimes by knowing I'm going to be there, it may deter them from wanting to come make the act.
Exactly.
That's where we really coming from.
Public awareness.
Public awareness. Yes. Let's entertain another caller. Caller, good morning, and you're welcome.
Hi, good morning. How are you doing?
Not too bad at all. Go ahead and do your contribution, please.
I couldn't agree with that caller anymore. First of all, the penalties are like nothing. Let me give you an example. A guy without a license have a vehicle that is not insured, met in an accident at the traffic light in Paradise. You go into court with the matter, and the man is still telling the judge he's going to take the jail. And then you have to fix your vehicle, you're not getting covered. So tell me, what is that leading to in society? The justice system has to be made. People have to pay the penalty.